Some of my initial challenges dealing with mental illness was the symptoms, the fact that I'm going to have to stay on medication, and also dealing with the internal stigma and stigma that I received from others. First, the symptoms were, I didn't know they were symptoms. And so when I began experiencing them, I didn't know I was dealing with a mental health concern. It was very intense, uncomfortable, and it took me off balance. I experienced a wide range of symptoms. I experienced visual and auditory hallucinations, among other types of hallucinations. I thought I saw spirits. I thought people were spying on me, following me, and it was scary. I learned about my diagnosis through a legal intervention. Prior to this experience, I never had a run-in with the police. I didn't know anything about mental illness, but yet I was dealing with a mental health crisis. While I was in the midst of my symptoms, I I thought everybody was against me, and so I ended up taking a military pickup truck and going on a high-speed chase with the police. When I was arrested and jailed for that incident, my symptoms became extremely, it got even worse. I became catatonic. I wasn't speaking, moving. I wasn't doing anything. I I had poor hygiene. I My anxiety level was extremely high. I cannot tolerate even small groups of individuals. And then on top of everything, I was in jail and then sent to a state hospital where I learned that I had paranoid schizophrenia. This whole experience, it may have seemed like 5 months, but it seemed like forever because I was away from my family. I was going through all these environments and groups of people that I was not familiar with, and I was only 20 years old. I think my immediate symptoms I have to deal with regularly is my mood swings because it does affect every aspect of my life dealing with my relationships, whether it's on a personal, romantic, in the workforce, or whatever it may be. And so I've had to constantly work with my doctor to adjust my medication to either take the antidepressant, take the mood stabilizer, along with my antipsychotic. And so what that means is that I'm constantly in a cycle of going in and out with the mania and the depression because I do have schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type. And I've learned that I need to have that outlet. I need to make sure that I'm taking my medication as prescribed. And what that means is my outlet is talking to my therapist and my family and friends. Staying on my medication regimen, that includes taking my morning pills on time and my night pills on time. And so I take it very seriously because I've learned when I skip a dose, um, I'm going to see it a few days later. I'm going to feel off balance. It's going to irritate me. It's going to trigger my irritability and my mood swings. And I don't like to deal with that because it does become disruptive and it's an ongoing cycle, an ongoing challenge for me. But I am managing because I know myself more and I know what to expect. But at the same time, I had to make sure I asked for help. I asked for help. And so um, like I said, I've experienced a lot of symptoms, but these are my most challenging right now because they're more frequent. The mood swings, the irritability, the mania, and the depression. But I feel like I can manage, and I'm doing well. I'm doing well right now. I mean, I've had, life is stressful, but I find a way to get through like everyone else, and I I owe it to my faith. I owe it to my support system. I owe it to my experience. I don't want to go back to being institutionalized. And so I take my recovery very seriously. And while it is changing, I do have to remember where I came from and go back to the basics. And that is my medication, my therapy, and my family.